Okay, babes, I don't have a lot of new for you today, but I want to make sure that you remember tomorrow, Wednesday, October 8th, I'm going to teach a free class called The Soul of Boundaries. Some of you might remember I did a course on that at the beginning of the year. And this is really kind of the heart of Mother Fire, and it's where all of the elements of somatic experiencing, expressive arts therapy, and circling come together because boundaries are about connection. Boundaries are about connecting to your essential self. What are the necessary conditions for you to operate from a place of soul, from a place of authenticity? And I'll tell you what, like, big spoiler alert, none of this is perfect. None of this is foolproof. I said to both my clients today, the biggest lesson we all have to learn is that there's no end to this. There's no end to the effort that you have to put forth. But what are the conditions that enable you to act from your inner fire so that you can identify what your needs are, express them in a way that's clear, and adjust to getting that need met and really moving forward, frankly, efficiently, and without putting yourself and those around you through a lot of hell. Boundaries are the thing that gets put in place so that you can stay in right relationship to reality. And I want you to take a minute for yourself to just acknowledge where there may be a flimsiness in your boundaries, where you know that it's difficult for you to set boundaries, and hold that for yourself for a moment longer. Recognize the part of you that is really activated in that place. Allow her to rise to the surface of your consciousness, to come forward. Is she young? Is she alone? Is she responding to certain conditions in particular? You know, our sense of whether or not we can set boundaries is largely determined in childhood. And it is a pattern that takes a lot of time, a lot of practice, and a lot of love to transform. So, what I want you to know is tomorrow, October 8th, 10 a.m. Pacific, I'm going to teach an hour-long class on this. It's going to give you a taste about what's coming in Mother Fire in terms of how we talk about boundaries and how we incorporate these tools of somatic experiencing and expressive arts practices and being together as a circle of women in order to activate that competency inside of yourself. And I'm going to give you a quick little story from my own life that I hope you can, if not relate to, kind of empathize with. My husband loves to play video games, and I've got a lot of baggage around that. In somatic experiencing, we call that overcoupling. I am overcoupled around video games and what that means about my husband and what it means about his mental health and what it means for our relationship and what it says about what he feels about me. And I have been unsuccessful over the years in communicating with him my dislike, frankly, and my need for a boundary. And I was framing it, excuse me. Oh, I've been framing it all these years as like, this is a boundary you need to hold for yourself. This is something you need to do because it's your problem. He has no problem with it. He has no problem with the video games. I'm the one who has a problem with it. And what my problem is that I experience his playing video games for hours at a time, not all the time. I mean, it doesn't happen all that often, but every time it does, I get pissed. So his playing video games as a rejection of me, proof of my deep, dark fear that he doesn't want me, that spending time with me isn't relaxing for him, etc. And so I brought this up in therapy, and I was able to at least say this out loud, right? This is honestly what's happening for me. And I hate saying that. I hate acknowledging basically like how weak I am. There's so much shame um, around needing and wanting attention and affection. And also, that's informed by this deeper belief that I think he's rejecting me in those moments. So my therapist, because she's so skilled, was able to give me something to sit with and chew on about not, my needing is not too much. Nothing that I'm asking for is too much. And then she asked my husband the question, what is this for you? What is this time for you? To which he responded, this is the time where I feel competent, where nobody's asking anything of me, where I get to feel like the puzzle I'm solving is something that I want to solve. And the big thing for him was really the competency. I feel capable. And I had to sit and listen to that. I had to acknowledge and accept that there's something that he gets out of this that is really positive for him. And also that, it would have been easy for me to misinterpret that as time with me feels like a drain. But luckily we were there with the therapist and she was able to intercept that that ball that I tried to throw at his face, to acknowledge, right? Like he's working really, really, really hard every day. And that is one way that he restores his own sense of competency and self. And I am giving all day long. I'm not solving problems like he is. He's a project manager. He's solving problems left, right, and center. My job is showing up for other people. My job is empathy. My job is holding space. And I would like someone to fucking do that for me at the end of the day. That's what makes me feel settled, whole, myself. And when we could come to one another with that clarity and hold the boundary around, like, I need time with you. I need time where I get to ask you to show up for me like that. And I acknowledge that you need time that's undisturbed. What does that look like? Can we decide these days are the days that X happens and these are the days that Y happens? And we both left there feeling really good. And we've upheld that structure in our home since then. And last night I could feel, I was like, oh, I want him here. Why is he on his computer? Why? And I just recalled that conversation and I leaned into that boundary. And I leaned into the part of the conversation that was also an acknowledgement of how the time that he's playing video games, I get to do what I want to take care of myself. And I had been like, back and forth between my phone and my book and my phone. I was like, oh, what I actually need is to close my eyes and get silent for a little while. And then I put on a little meditation practice. And it was like, The boundary is connection. I didn't sit there and stew in my bed making up a story about him or myself. And I really want to get you excited about how profound this work can be, what it can yield in terms of our own self-awareness, self-respect, and self-expression in relationship. So I hope you'll come tomorrow. I hope this offered you something. I hope that you'll consider joining Mother Fire, and I hope that you'll hang in there a little longer with me while I send you messages every day while we get Mother Fire filled up.